Hey guys, this is Zach with Team Covenant.
Hi.
These guys. And we're here to unbox It Binds All Things.
I'm Tim.
And some guys.
We're here to unbox It Binds All Things, the latest pack for the Star Wars LCG, and it's a heater. And I'm excited to unbox it.
Would you say it really ties everything together?
I'm into this one.
Some would say it binds everything together. Yeah,
It
all
ties the room
things.
together.
It did tie the room together.
Did it not?
Did it? You want to toe? Anyways, first up we have the Admiral's Assault. It's a 5-1 Imperial objective.
This was Hoth.
It's Hoth, which is part of what makes it juicy, revisiting the theme from the first cycle of packs. Reaction: after this objective enters play, return the topmost fate card in your discard pile to your hand. That's exactly the right response. If you start the game with this, it does nothing. If you get this in the middle of the game, you have to ask yourself, do I really want any of my edge cards back into my hand going into my draw phase? Battle of Hoth is the best example of something you might want to get. It is interesting they keep introducing fate cards every cycle. Yeah. So there could be some really powerful fate cards down the line.
Some real heaters.
Some real heats. So we'll see, but it is an okay objective. First card we have is Admiral Pyatt. 5 cost, 3 health, 2 Force icons, black unit damage, and edge enabled unit damage. He's Imperial. He's a character. He's an officer. And for 5, he better be doing something fancy.
He better be doing something real good.
While this unit is attacking, during the edge battle, resolve the effects and count the Force icons of each attached fate card as if it were in your edge stack.
But how do you attach a card?
Well, good thing you asked. He also has a reaction. After you discard a fate card not named Twist of Fate from your edge stack, attach it to this unit.
That seems good.
So he becomes a fate card train, basically.
He becomes a wrecking ball. Exactly. So the first game I had this guy out, it was turn 2. I played him. I attacked with some worthless unit, and I played 2 Battle of Hoths. So I play them, I heal 2 damage, and I attach them to the Admiral. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, anytime he attacks, I'm just triggering 2 Battle of Hoth. The next turn, I get a heat of battle on him. The next turn, I had a target opportunity on him. So he's edge 10, doing 2 Battle of Hoth, 1 heat of battle, 1 target opportunity every time he attacks, which is remarkably impressive.
All for the low price of $5.
That is remarkable. I mean, Imperial's got the money.
They've got the money. A very interesting card.
The fact that it's any fate card, not just when he's attacking, but you can attach any fate card that you discard, even in, like you said, those less significant battles. So you can tee him up, you can throw your dude in that doesn't even have icons, right? And it's like, I'm going to put all these fate cards in there, and your opponent's like, who cares? Then you put him on Pyatt, then you attack with him, and then they're like, oh, that's why I care.
That is all of a sudden why I care. Yeah, this makes Twist of Fate on the light side a big deal because they can twist out your fate cards and not let you put them on the Admiral. But another very good card, it never happened for me, but I can imagine how awesome it would be, is Seeds of Decay. If that's on him, every time he attacks, you just put a focus on something committed, get a couple seeds on there.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so
on it ready,
really
right?
Flavorful too. Yeah, really flavorful.
Yeah.
Okay.
What, seeds?
Yeah.
No, seeds is.
This one focused on it ready unit.
Oh yeah, you're reading it.
Yeah, reading the card. Wait, there's the seeds in the pack. Spoiler alert. It's a very interesting card. He's not just like rocking the world himself. He relies on other cards to be good, but it's a powerful ability. So we'll see what else.
It's good design space too. I really like that they went there. The only thing that can make this get better is if he were on a big playmat. That is the only thing that can make it better.
All right, next.
Next up, we have the 2 cost Hoth Reinforcements. It's an Imperial unit with 1 health, 1 objective damage. Why would I pay 2 for this? He's a character, he's a trooper. Reaction: after a Battle of Hoth fate card resolves, put this unit into play from your discard pile.
So you're saying that if I have a Battle of Hoth on my Admiral Pyatt,
every time he attacks, you can get this guy back. And you may tell you why that's really important, besides just getting a free unit every turn.
Tell me, Zach.
It's called the Killing Cold.
Oh my god!
Also another Hoth objective, you can sacrifice a unit to heal the damage from a Hoth objective. This guy's fantastic at doing that.
Yeah, he seems really good at that. And he's got nice little armor there, too.
He does. He's an awesome looking piece of art.
The
other thing I want to note, because I went there on the Killing Cold, that I noticed with Pyatt, is I had Pyatt out, and then I had an Ice Tromper out. And I thought to myself, I can attack with Pyatt, have edge 10, trigger his fate cards, then I can sacrifice my Tromper to move him out and swing with him again and do it all over. So he's got some really powerful plays, and it synergizes really well with the Hoth objectives that are already out. Very exciting to see.
Wow.
And then we finish out the pack with 3 edge cards. This is really a rare thing that happens. It has happened, but it's rare. Heat of Battle, Battle of Hoth, Seeds of Decay, 3 edge cards. You're pretty okay having almost any day of the week.
Yeah, Heat of Battle, Battle of Hoth, Seeds of Decay. All your favorites.
Yep.
Packed into one juicy objective set.
Yeah, this objective set's really interesting. I think it's a great ad for the Hoth style decks. After I used it, having 2 in a deck is really questionable because you get 6 edge cards and 2 pites. You want 2 of the other guy, but like you just end up with a lot of weird scenarios where it's like, oh,
I can't play anything.
I just drew edge cards, which is cool and all.
I think that if you run 2 of this guy, you need to run a little bit lighter on edge cards elsewhere.
Yes, completely light.
As in no other edge cards.
I mean, I think-
One other edge card.
A couple.
It's just the thing about
8
this
edge cards is fine.
is you just have a potential for you can't in Star Wars. There's so few turns even now with the like light side holding on for longer. You can't have a turn where you don't play things. Like you need to be playing a lot every turn.
Unless you just have the greatest edge battle of your life on that turn and just knock out 3 units.
Well, hopefully you
focus
do
6.
have that turn. So it's just a fine line to walk with how many edge cards are in your deck.
Yeah.
Normally we go clockwise. You would read this, but I would really like to read IG88. Is that
Fine.
acceptable?
Fine.
I've done it. IG88 is my favorite character in Star Wars. I don't know when that happened or why, but it
occurred.
It is the case. And did we have an IG88 in the old TCG?
Yeah.
And I remember, was he underwhelming?
He was underwhelming.
Yeah. So that's a bummer. Let's hope that this one
Probably
isn't.
why you liked him.
The droid's task.
T2.
It's a 5/1, nothing fancy. It's Tatooine, and it is a reaction. Of course, it's scum. After your draw phase begins, reduce your reserve eye by 1 until the end of the phase to deal 1 damage to a target unit that is committed to the Force.
It's a
I think that's a great card.
defense protocol, but for committed units.
It's a little bit weaker of a defense protocol, but I think this is really important for Scum. The last pack had the new Yoda.
Yoda.
But what's important about that is Nudge, and every deck needs a way to get rid of Nudge, just period. And Scum didn't have very many effective ways to do that until now. So I think that's an objective you don't mind having out for sure.
So IG88 smoking the nudge.
He's de-nudging.
So let's talk about old IG88 or Iggy, as
Also
you
known as
have
Iggy.
named him recently.
Yeah.
He's a 5-coster. He's really got a pose going on there too. He looks
He's
like
champion.
he means business. He can't really do anything from that pose. He can't shoot you or anything, but he looks very terrifying. He's got 2 Force icons. He's unique. He's 3 health.
Important.
And then he has 2 black unit damage, 1 black objective damage, 1 white objective damage. He's elite, which is amazing.
That's really rare for Scum.
He's a droid and a bounty hunter too.
You like that?
I'm probably the only elite droid we'll ever see. Hopefully you don't already have one, or I'm already wrong. This unit,
you're okay.
Here's the important text. So he's elite, but he also has this unit gains a black unit damage and a black tactics icon while there are fewer than 3 enemy units committed to the Force. So if there are less than 3 units, he has 3 black unit damage, which kills a lot of important dudes right now. 2,
All the important dudes.
if you win the edge battle, he does 2 objective damage, and then he also tactics somebody down. That is a spread of icons that is really respectable. I think this guy's worth 5. I think he's a nice heavy hitter for Scum.
Even if you lose the edge battle and you do 3 damage to tactics and an objective damage, like
Yeah, that's true. That's
whoa.
still great. He's not really edge dependent at all.
I mean, it's nice.
Yeah, Scum up until this point has had pretty underwhelming, just big guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's like 5 for Jabba, and Jabba's fine, but he's not doing too much.
No, he's driving
Sort of
around.
sitting there.
Yeah, he's just sitting there. So I think this is a really nice
Putting
ad for
bounties on
Scum,
people.
for sure.
The only thing that would make this better is Echoes of the Force, right? That's where my head's going, is the Fate card where you can take someone off. As I was watching Sweden Regional this week, and I was watching, there was a lot. I mean, the Force is so big. It's so important. There was often times where there was 3. No further questioning. We had 3 on the Force just as a matter of principle. But, I mean, I feel like this guy on turn 2 Dark Side is really strong, right? You probably don't even have 2 units out, or 3 units out to commit to the Force that first turn. And then he swings in with a tactics. It's like,
Yeah, he's strong, and
So,
because he's elite, it's
good.
really good.
It's really, really good.
Yeah, it's all the things you want.
We then get 2 copies of the reprogrammed DRK1 droid, or the Durkin.
We call it Dirk.
Dirk, the
Dirk.
Drakwan.
Dirkwin.
1 cost.
Could be dark.
1 Force icon there, 1 black unit damage, 1 health, droid, Gains targeted strike while there are no enemy units committed to the force.
So, this is a really interesting card for me, right?
Yeah.
It's like you have these objective sets that have two units in it that aren't like the main unit or the main edge card of the resource or any of those slots. And of all the units we've seen in that slot, this is not the worst.
Yes, that's true.
This is not the worst. This is no Roosing Colonist, mind you. But
classic example.
Being a 1 cost is really nice. A black unit damage is also really nice. A potential targeted strike is nice. I think this, right now in the game, this very moment, is not as good as you want it to be.
Yeah.
If this had been a cycle ago, like this was the first scum objective in the first cycle, this card would have been money. Because you have sleuth decks and vehicle decks that don't ever commit, like as a matter of just principle. You also have the capacity, like they'll have their one guy committed and you'll capture it or you'll destroy it somehow. So these guys could get really good if the force wasn't the thing happening right now.
Yeah.
So even though it's not a bad card. Not bad, but it's...
You probably don't want 4 of these in your deck right now.
That's the base problem. You want 2 IG-88, the 2 objectives is fine, but 4 of those guys is just...
Let me change your mind.
All right, hit me.
Sonic Detonation. 2 costs, 2 force icons, event. Action. Capture one of your opponent's force cards from his supply and an objective of your choice. It's a capture card and it ceases to be captured, or when it ceases to be captured, it's returned to their supply. They go down to 2 force cards.
Yes, they do.
That means
So you're telling me
IG-88 is always on.
Yep.
And it means that you can only commit 2 dudes. So winning the force struggle as scum actually gets easier. Does. Which is important because those resources right now are so good. Yeah, so you have 2 of these. Let's say I use 2 of them. All of a sudden, 1 Echoes of the Forest is my little droidies with targeted strike.
Little droidies.
Everywhere, every day.
Yeah, so... I'll get to my thoughts on the whole set in a second. So yeah, this is phenomenal. 2 cost for a capture one of your force cards. May the force be with you is huge right now. Taking away the ability to commit something and unfocus it.
And it's 2 force icons.
Is money. Yeah, this is money all around. Any of your objectives that get better with captured, this is a sweet captured effect. So I'm all in on this card.
Yeah.
I want 2 of these. These are good.
I agree with you there.
What are we in with?
Echoes of the Force.
Money!
Exactly what you want.
So
this is a huge amount of synergy in an objective set. This is usually what we expect from smugglers, honestly. And oh man, that's good. It's so good.
That's what we expect from smugglers, except for the droids that just always have targeted strike.
So, riddle me this. I've done some thinking on this set. We just had a regional. Played a lot of Star Wars lately. Obviously, I play a lot of Star Wars all the time.
Nothing
but
but Star
lately,
Wars?
Yes, nothing but Star Wars. And the more I think about this set, because originally it's like, oh, maybe Scum now has the tools to do what they do and be awesome. And the more I thought about this set, it actually brings up a really new deck concept, which, like those 1-cost droids, right? They get really good if your opponent doesn't have something committed to the force. You send this little 1-cost guy that doesn't matter, who's just going to ping whatever character you want. You also have the objective that you can lower.
Yeah.
And ping.
You can ping, you can ping, you can ping.
Ping, ping.
What would pinging be really good with?
Pinging
Sith.
would be really good with Sith.
Nailed it with more pinging from Force Chokes and Darth Vader and the ability to remove the units completely from the board that are committed to the Force. Now IG-88 is always really good. So my thinking is you run 2 of this, 2 of Zuckuss, because his objective is really good for helping win the Force when you can actually capture stuff. He also has Spring in the Trap, which is good at capturing units that are committed to the Force, for 1. And then you start Sith, and you run 6 Sith objectives. So you have the 4, you only really need 1 of those objectives out to play the Scum cards, and all of a sudden, now you're in business. Now that -1 health from the objective lets you Force Choke Vader or Yoda off the board. It helps Sith win the Force because they can remove your Force cards. Echoes of the Force is really good with that. All the above.
We're going to build that. That's the deck I want to play.
Yeah, I think that in a pure Scum deck...
Why do you start Sith?
Because you have to have Sith. You have 4 objectives, right? And it's possible I could draw... If you start Scum, that's a different video.
Yeah.
If you start Scum and you have 4, then there's like 1 in, I think it's 20 games, you draw all Scum and you just lose. If you don't draw Scum, but you started Sith and you draw 3 Scum, the inverse is you draw all Sith, right? But if you look at the objective sets, a lot of these cards are neutral, and they don't have to have Scum. So it's 40% of your deck instead of 60% that's turned off in that scenario. I'll do a video about it. It's good.
He's talking like I want to believe him.
Anyways, so I think it's a really good objective set.
All right, up next, we have Ties of Blood. It is
Speechless.
a Jedi objective set. It's a 5/1. It's indoor. It has a reaction on it. After an opponent's conflict phase ends, do 1 damage to a target enemy unit if that opponent has not declared at least 1 engagement this turn.
Target enemy objective.
Oh, that's a unit.
Yeah.
The objective.
We all
okay.
assumed it was unit. I actually read it and I was like, unit, yeah, that's right. I was like, oh wait, no, that's objective. So you deal damage to an
Seems
objective
good.
if they haven't attacked you.
This is important. This is important. It really is. I'm not just saying that.
I'm getting emotional.
It's so good. The thing about it is, like, you have these scenarios, right, where Darkseid just sets up these brutal boards. They have Protect out. They have all these massive units.
And they just sit there.
And they just sit.
Yeah.
It's like there's no reason for me to risk anything or whatever. And, like, having to attack or just take a damage is awesome. Because all of a sudden, that little 1-cost stupid Jedi unit that has a tactics that you attack with some random unit and I block with a unit I don't care about. And if I win the edge battle, I just tactics your Palpatine or your Vader or your IG-88, the guy you were going to save for defense all of a sudden, or you just take a damage. Like,
And then if it was possible for the light side to just keep the Force, do 2 pings.
That never happens these days.
I know, right? The first card in this set is Leia Organa, a Jedi. Whoa, spoilers. It's a 3-cost unit. It's 3 Force icons. It's a character and Force sensitive. She's 2 health. She has 3 icons: a unit damage, a blast damage, and a tactics, and they're all black.
Nice.
Which is very strong. And then she has a reaction that says, after an opponent's conflict phase ends, deal 1 damage to a target ready unit. If the balance of the forces on the light side, deal 2 damage instead.
That's so interesting. Yeah, because that's kind of like keeping them off the Force too, yeah?
Yeah.
Where it's like, because your ready units are the ones you're planning to commit generally, and then...
Yeah, I mean, you just think about the units that are typically ready at the end of their conflict. You have Stormtroopers ready to block that you can just kill if you have balance. You have the 2-cost Protector from Mara's objective set. Even the 2-cost Protector from Emperor, you can just pop for 2. Like, 2 damage on anything you didn't attack with is massive, and it makes attacking as the light side so much easier. The trick with Leia is just being able to keep her out. 2 health is obviously that, like, barrier where, Vader just kills me.
For sure.
But 3 cost and 3 edge icons with 3 black icons, like, all this is
It's good news.
mucho goodo. She's also Force sensitive, which helps you play some of the cards that you otherwise can't.
Right. Up next, we have an Ewok Companion. It's a neutral 1-cost unit. It's 1 health. It's a character Ewok. It has a black unit damage, and it has shielding.
That's great.
Let me tell you a story.
Ewoks are so good.
Of all the slots that this could have been, this is great. Like, I wish this was so many other Jedi characters in so many of their objective sets. It's crazy. I was playing a game, and, like, I attacked with Yoda and this guy, and I shielded Yoda, and it's just like, that's the most annoying.
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
can't tactics him down even.
You can't tactics. He's got black icons. I don't need to win the edge battle. Do you want to block and kill this guy? Like,
Not really.
you want to waste a Force choke on this guy? Like, it's just, this is the most annoying and best utility. Like, it's awesome. I love this guy.
I agree.
I also love it because some people don't like Ewoks for some reason.
They just don't
on
like them
principle?
in the Star Wars universe.
Period. And so, like, I always love playing. They don't bother me, and I play it, and then people are just like,
Ooh, Ewoks.
Up next, we have Native Support. It's a 2-cost Jedi enhancement. It provides 1 resource. It's 1 Force icon. It's indoor traded. You enhance your play area, and it has an action on it. Remove a shield from a card you control to remove 1 focus token from this enhancement or from a friendly Ewok unit.
Hey, that seems to work with that Ewok companion there, doesn't it?
yeah. It's really funny. You can surprise people with what you can actually do with this.
Yeah.
The first game I had this out, I want to point out this is not limited, which makes it a really cool resource because you can get lots of resources in play. Also provides Jedi, but what you can do with this is like that Ewok companion, just the Ewok companion. You attack with it, shield itself. It's like, do you want to block? Then it'll block, you do damage to the objective. Then you can remove the shield you didn't use to unfocus it, do it again. So it's like, you have to block, or I'm just going to get 3 unopposed damage on objectives for doing nothing besides having an Ewok in play. And it gets really amazing with the original Ewoks.
Stealth.
who basically have stealth, which is you can pick a character and they can't block with that character. The ability to use that on every attack could be just huge. It's like, oh, you can't block with Palpatine. Now attack Dixon. Oh, you can't block with... It's bizarre.
Yeah.
So that's a really cool resource, and it is a really nice seed for future Ewok things.
Very cool.
Up next, we have a 1-cost Jedi event. It has 1 Force icon. It's called Leia's Command. It has a reaction. After an opponent's conflict phase ends, deal 1 damage to each ready unit and objective controlled by that player. This damage cannot be prevented by shields.
That's crazy, man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's really good. A lot of time, most turns, your opponent won't have unfocused objectives. Like, that's just most of the time that will not happen. But all their blockers take a damage. If they have an unfocused objective, they're going to take damage on it. It's actually super nice against Sith. They tend to hold on to resources for Force Lightnings, Rage.
Yeah.
All their mean events.
And just to clarify, the qualifier ready does apply to both unit and objective.
Yeah. If it just did it to all the objectives, this card would be insane.
Yeah.
Just straight up insane.
Straight up.
But yeah, it's a really good card. The first time I ran a deck with Leia, I ran 2 copies of this objective set, and there are a lot of these cards that I just didn't want 2 of. Like I would have this in my hand, and I would draw another one, and it's like, am I going to save a resource to maybe have a really useful effect? But when
Couldn't
it does,
you play 2 of them at once?
You could always use native support.
Yeah.
Just pull a resource off that with your shields.
There's cool things. I think it's interesting. I'll get my
and then we finish out the pod with a protection.
money.
Which
Place a shield
puts
on
a shield
something.
on something.
Cool little Jedi shielding tech going on here, and especially in concert with the Ewoks and Leia. Like,
Yeah,
far out, man.
Shields are really important. It's important to know in protection that it doesn't have to be involved in the conflict to put a shield on it.
Yeah.
Most people do not realize that at first, and then you randomly put a shield on Yoda. They were planning on tacticing by winning that edge battle, and then they can't. Can upset some people.
It's very important.
Just be prepared. Protection is real and alive.
Zach, you got Green Squadron. We've
seen this
previewed
before.
it. Yeah.
Green Squadron Deployment. It's a 5/1 Rebel objective set. Liberty traded. Double the Force icons on all friendly vehicle units that are committed to the Force. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Vehicles need a way to get it done.
I like it a lot. I think it's really good, actually.
Yep. Next up, we have Liberty, which is the real juice of this objective set. It's 5 cost, 2 edge icons, 4 health, 2 black unit damage, 1 black objective damage, 1 edge-enabled objective damage. It's a vehicle. It's a capital ship. While this unit is committed to the Force, it gains reaction. After this unit is focused to strike, return a target enemy unit of printed cost 4 or higher to its owner's hand.
It's just, it's so good, man. I feel like sleuths have backed off a lot, and so we're seeing a lot more of the high-cost characters on the dark side. And so Liberty is here to deal with him. Yeah. Echoes of the Force kind of ruins his day, but you know what? You gotta have a foil. Every great hero
ruins
has a
his
foil.
day. Yeah, it's a really... I mean, the interesting thing about that effect is it's obviously super powerful.
Yeah.
Like, if you return a Vader or Palpatine to their hand, that could be just over. Like, just game. Like, it's too much of a resource swing. So I like that there are lots of ways to stop it, lots of restrictions on how this is going to be used. And like I said in the video, I think there's a lot of ways to abuse this, whether it's Leia or just this is a really strong effect. So you have to be careful when you put this into a game, which I think they are.
Totally agreed.
Next up, we have the Green Squadron A-Wing, which is not green, as we noted in the video. It's 2 cost, 1 health, 1 edge icon, black unit damage, white objective damage. It's a vehicle, it's a fighter, and it has an interrupt. When this unit leaves play, shuffle an event card from your discard pile back into your deck.
I wish it went to your hand. I still do.
I think that would be super strong
Yeah,
if it went to your hand.
This is a little 1 cost. I don't know. I just want a little more.
A little more.
I also want it to be green.
The thing is, for a 2 cost unit, if that was blank and it just had that 2 cost 1 health with those icons, it's okay. Like,
It's still okay, yeah, you're right.
it's an okay unit. The reaction is not why you're playing it, but
Or is it?
well, it might be. Yeah, true. Anyways, I think it's okay. I want the ability to do something because it's there, but it's fine. Next up, we have a resource. It's a Rebel Fighter Bay, 1 cost, 1 Force icon enhancement. Location, enhance your play area. It's not limited. Resources generated by this enhancement can only be used to play vehicle units.
1 resource.
That's fair.
I still wish it was 0.
I do too. But it's
I
fair.
do
0
too.
cost.
I feel like you guys are bummed out by this objective.
If it was 0 and limited, I would
Yeah,
love
it's
that.
just I don't know. It's Liberty's really cool.
Mhm.
I think I have a love for A-Wings just because they're
A-Wings.
weird. Yeah. And I think
Too
Tim
cute.
likes them as well.
It's accurate.
And it's just, you want an A-Wing that like really like is just bomb.com. You know?
But they're not.
They're just not yet. Zach?
Fair.
Zach?
And I think that this enhancement's good. It is what it is.
A non-limited resource, that's a thing. Like, if you get that early, it really lets you amp up what you're able to get out on the board. So I don't know. I also know the next cycle is very rebel or vehicle based.
Yeah, true.
So this objective set could get all kinds of crazy.
Mhm.
Next up, we have an event, Evasive Maneuvers. 0 cost, 2 edge icons, which is important. Maneuver Interrupt. When a vehicle unit leaves play, return it to its owner's hand.
This event is really good.
Yeah?
I like this a lot.
Digging?
At worst, it gives you an extra card for an edge battle. At best, it gets you back a really important vehicle unit that you don't want to just lose.
Yeah.
Like a Sleuth Scout or a Blockade Runner or Liberty or
Sure.
any of
Or-
those things.
Especially if we see
Himalayan Falcon.
vehicles that do things when they leave play, and then you can get them in your hand and do it again, or interplay effects, those kinds of
I'm
things.
gonna bounce the Falcon to my
Yeah,
hand.
I mean,
and
keep an
use
eye
this
on
to
it.
put it in my hand.
If we get into a cycle that is about vehicles and that becomes a really strong option, especially for the dark side, all of a sudden cards like X-Wing Escort, that when they leave play, your opponent has to destroy a ship, bouncing that could be a really powerful just turn after turn kind of effect.
Are there any dark side chips that you would want them to draw again or have in their hand to clog it?
Yeah, you can clog it up with like cheap TIE fighters or something.
I mean, sure.
It does work. You can use it on their stuff too.
Yeah.
How cute.
And then it finishes out with Echoes of the Force. It's their Echoes.
Echoes of the Force.
Echo.
Yeah, I think that's solid. I still think that Rebels are consistently not getting the cards that make me go, whoa, wowzers.
So they're getting the cards that make you go,
Yeah, it's a
Well, I don't know. I think that's unfair to say a little bit.
Well, it's because they share the yellow space, honestly.
Well, I think that the Janors and the Winter objective sets are...
But whenever I read those objectives, I didn't go, wow. I went,
Rebels are weirdly
cool.
techy.
And then I played against Kendall and went...
You know what I mean? It's weird that Rebels are like, they're the most like weird.
I mean, yeah,
well,
I get
it makes
that.
sense from the flavor points. Like, they have to be squirrely.
Yeah, I guess
That's how they
so.
survive.
Yeah.
Rebel Fleet is not weird, right? It's just vehicles and stuff. Rebel Command Center, like characters,
Yeah.
it makes sense that they're the weirdest. Like,
They're techie.
they're hiding, they're moving around, you don't know what they're up to, they do weird stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I'm convinced.
so
You got it.
Let's talk about the final one here, A Wookiee's Journey. Tatooine objective 5-2, Smugglers and Spies affiliation only. So they got a 5-2, nothing
not
fancy.
bad.
Wookiee's Journey.
It's one of their least impressive objectives.
Wookiee finding
And
a
it's
transition.
amazing. It's good.
We have Lauric. He's a 4-cost character Wookiee. He's got 3 Force icons. Appears to have some kind of a stun bat there. That's my guess.
A baton.
He has
maybe.
3 black unit
Looks like an
damage.
axe.
Oh yeah,
totally an
it's
axe.
coming up the top. I see it now. It is an axe. 3 black unit damage. He's
like cooler.
elite. He says each Wookiee unit, including himself, you control gains a black objective damage.
You're telling me that this guy has 4 costs for 3 unit damage and a blast damage.
And
It's
3
all
health,
black.
and elite,
And he's got
probably
3
has
health.
protect because you're running life debt.
and giving all your Wookiees innovation damage.
He seems to be really good for all of those reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's very good.
You know what's the coolest part of him is that, and don't quote me on this. I mean, I'm going on video saying it, but don't quote me on it. I'm pretty confident that this character was created for the Edge of the Empire beginner game and is now in the Star Wars card game.
Oh, wicked. Hey, that's really
I'm going to
cool.
quote you on that.
So he was on like a pre-made. He was one of the pre-mades on the Edge of the Empire.
Yeah, like he's a non-EU based character. He's just
That's
EU.
really cool.
Which is, I think, it's
hope
an
that's
awesome
the case.
concept.
Yeah, I
Like,
hope that's the case.
If they keep doing that, I'll be super happy. Like I'm totally cool with that.
Because who's to say he didn't exist? You know what I mean?
It's all legends.
Loyal Wookiee, 3 cost, 1 Force icon, 2 black unit damage, 1 white objective damage. Character Wookiee, 3 health.
Of course.
Reaction: after a unique character you control leaves play, put this unit into play from your hand.
So you're telling me.
That's so good.
So you're telling me. I
Yellow
could-
cards.
I could, in theory, infiltrate in Lorik, use him for a phase, bounce him back to my hand, and then put 2 loyal Wookiees into play for free.
You could do that technically if you got it. which is good.
You could also, like, anytime a unique character dies, just put in a free 3 health Wookiee.
Seems also quite nice.
They probably will have protect.
Yeah, this is good. And in a faction that's already doing a lot of bouncy stuff, it seems like this is only going to get better. And he's got Wookiee synergy all over.
The art's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, when you compare him to the, whatever the name of that first Wookiee was.
The neutral one.
The neutral Wookiee for 2, you pay 1 extra, and you go ahead and just automatically have the extra unit and objective damage.
Yeah.
For the same card. But you can also potentially just get this guy for free.
Yes.
And I think you will. It's like, how many times do you play Han Solo first on your first turn? They're like, oh, I'm going to force choke, trigger Vader, kill him. And normally you're just like, crap. Instead,
loyal Wookiee.
Here comes a free Wookiee. Thanks
Here we
for
go.
playing.
Here comes a free Wookiee.
Yeah.
Classic free Wookiee.
Let's talk
Surprise
about
Wookiee is the worst, as we said last time.
Let's talk about Heart of a Wookiee. This
Delicious.
is a 1 cost, 2 force icon enhancement. You enhance a Wookiee unit,
Okay.
and that Wookiee gains +3 damage capacity.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's a great card, and they went ahead and put 2 edge icons on it.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
This card on Chewbacca is bonkers.
Bonk blockers.
This-
Yeah, I agree with you.
I agree. Any protector with this on is great.
But Chewbacca especially.
Yeah, Chewbacca especially.
Like,
Takes damage.
it's fine on any of the
It's
other Wookiees. Like, it's really strong.
They're all 6 health, like, after that. You know what I mean?
But on Chewbacca,
I get what you're saying.
yeah, I smell what you're stepping in.
so good.
I'm there.
And then we have Emotional Wookiee. Faithful Companion, 2 cost. Enhancement, it enhances your play area. It's got 1 resource on it. It's limited, and each Wookiee committed to the Force gains +1 force icon.
It's a resource. It's a little boon.
It's okay.
Why not?
I actually think this is really fine. These Wookiee decks that are running 2 Wookiee Life Set and 2 of this have a lot of Wookiees. And I've seen games, like, they can give the Force randomly because of it. It's just like, Lorik becomes a 4 force icons.
Yeah. And
Okay.
if there's one thing I'm learning through this card game is that committing somebody to the Force doesn't necessarily mean that they're, like, meditating on deep things. It could well mean, like here, for instance, they're just expressing love. You know what I mean?
Positive vibes, man.
The Force is just about emotion, you know, sometimes.
A lot of times.
If you're on the dark side.
I majored in the Force. Echoes of the Force is the last card there, which we well know, and is very good.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
It's just sad it's not a Wookiee on this Echoes of the Force. It's my only
It'd
problem.
be awesome.
Chewbacca
Chewbacca having a planet fall on him or something.
the biggest problem with this objective set, there's two potential problems.
Yeah, it's competing.
Is that
with
it's competing
everything.
with all the other smuggler objectives. How many Wookiees do you really want?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have life debt, all the Wookiees value go way down.
I don't think you touch this unless you're going for Wookiees.
Oh, this is not. I don't think this goes in a deck without Wookiee
No,
life
it's
debt.
got to have tons of Wookiees. in
Yeah.
it.
So I think it's really interesting. I think it's one branch of the smuggler tree.
Yeah.
What about whenever we get one more Wookiee pod?
But it's cool. Like, I want there to be a Wookiee deck, right?
Yeah.
I definitely want that, and I think it will be a great deck,
I want an Ewok deck.
which is not far behind, honestly.
Yeah, we're getting it back. It's gonna happen. Anyways, I think it's a really strong objective set. It's not the best smuggler objective set.
Yeah.
I see it as a one
Heaven
of in a
forbid.
lot of those decks that already run 2 Chewies. You get more Wookiees, more protectors, free units are great, extra health is good, it's a resource, it's a 3, like, it's all good.
It's an Echoes.
It's 2 resource objective set, which helps you get the Falcon in early, but yeah, I mean, it's a solid objective set.
Well, what more can we say? This is a great pack. I feel
Yeah,
like, for Star
That's
Wars.
very strong.
I think Jedi and Scum definitely made out like bandits in this
Gross.
this objective set, or this pack.
I also feel like, just as having watched the regional, I was TOing it, and just, you know, seeing this game more, and it consistently gets better. You know, it's amazing. It's like when new Netrunner pack comes out, it's not necessarily that Netrunner gets better for me. It's that Netrunner changes, and maybe there's a little more interesting things that you can do this way or the other. But Star Wars is literally, I feel like, finally getting to the massive cards to get to the level, the foundational level of, you have a lot of important choices to make during deck building, like a lot. And the games are fascinating to me now. They're just fascinating. I was watching the finals, and it was just
The
like,
flow of the games.
yeah, it's like, where are you going to take the Force? How important is it to me? How do I make this conflict phase the best that it can be? There's a lot of really interesting decisions. So it's seeing cards like this really enforces that for me.
Yeah, and I think we're getting enough cards where, at least at this very moment, I think the light side literally has really great options in every affiliation. Every color, every combination, like there's nice pockets of just seriously competitive decks.
Yeah.
On every branch of the tree. Darkside's at this point, ironically enough, a year ago, Sith was dominant, but right now I think they're behind the power curve. But I think this whole cycle has been bringing light side up.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to see what happens in the next cycle for Darkside with the next deluxe that's coming out, and the more cards we get, you're totally right. This game is just getting better.
Great, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate you spending the time to watch this video. If you need this pack, we've got it on the store. If you need this pack and you're a subscriber, well, you shouldn't because you already have it. And then if you'd like this pack and to be delivered to your door every single month, we can do that for you too. Just look up our subscriptions. Only this pack.
This pack every single month.
How many times? So check out all that stuff. We're here for you. And if you need anything else, let us know. Thanks for watching.
See you guys.